Welcome, one and all. Welcome, my friends, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I am so glad you could be with us tonight. It's nice. I need a little bit of the warmth. I need a little being with the good people here. Because tomorrow is the one-year anniversary of the January 6th insurrection. That horrible day when millions of Americans stared at the TV in shock and grief and said, "Oh, crap, is that Uncle Dave?" The House Select Committee investigating the attack has set its sights on a new target, Fox News host and proof that the Irish weren't meant to live past 60. Sean Hannity. Last night, the committee sent a letter asking Hannity to talk to them about some bombshell text messages that indicate that Hannity had advanced knowledge regarding the former president's planning for January 6th. And I'm being told we have footage of the moment Hannity received that letter. Uh-oh. According to the committee, on December 31st, 2020, Hannity sent Chief of Staff Mark Meadows a text that said, "I do not see January 6th happening the way he is being told." So Hannity clearly knew what was coming. I wouldn't be surprised if the former president planned this coup with the knowledge of the entire Fox News lineup, including the commercials. Apparently, Hannity saw some downsides to destroying our system of representative government. On January 5th, he wrote to Meadows again saying that he was very worried about the next 48 hours. So he either had advanced knowledge of the plot or he had just eaten 3 Taco Bell Burrito Supremes. Either way, he knew. Either way, he knew the next 48 hours was going to bring chaos. If the committee really wants the inside scoop on the White House's plan to stage a coup, they should talk to former presidential trade advisor Peter Navarro, seen here throwing a pillowcase of kittens into the river. Navarro was on MSNBC last night, and he revealed that the White House's plot to overthrow the election even had a cute little nickname.
This plan we had called the Green Bay Sweep.
Not to be confused with the Green Bay Sneak, which is what happens when you ask Aaron Rodgers if he's vaccinated. And sure, Navarro explained that what the coup plot had in common with the football play was teamwork and obviously brain damage.
We had over 100 congressmen and senators on Capitol Hill ready to implement the sweep. We were going to challenge the results of the election in the 6 battleground states. And at 1 p.m., Senator Ted Cruz, and Gosar, a representative, started the Green Bay Sweep beautifully, challenging the results of Arizona.
I haven't seen criminal activity so clearly explained on TV by the criminal since Rachel Ray welcomed co-host Jeffrey Dahmer. Yummo! But Navarro says there was one flaw in the January 6th plan.
All this required was peace and calm on Capitol Hill.
And we would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for that meddling mob we unleashed on Capitol Hill. Damn you, Scooby-Coo! By the way, you got the reference. Good. Glad they got the reference. By the way, that's not an exaggeration. Check how much Peter Navarro looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. Navarro then explained how his good old-fashioned football coup was supposed to go.
The remedy was for Vice President Pence, as the quarterback in the Green Bay Sweep, to remand those votes back to the 6 battleground states for 10 days for a look to see if there were any election irregularities or fraud.
Really? Pence is the quarterback in the situation? Doesn't really strike me as having the quarterback type of personality. If I had to pick a position that fits his sparkling persona, I'd go with tackling dummy. Tomorrow, seems like fun. You gotta hit it. Yeah. Tomorrow, Congress is going to mark the dark anniversary with solemnity, with events including a prayer vigil And do not ever doubt the power of prayer, because remember, on Monday, Devin Nunes formally resigned from Congress. Thank you for hearing me, Lord. Lord. The solemnity of the day was in danger of being undermined by former President My Little Phony. 2 weeks ago, he announced that at the time of the Capitol prayer service, he planned to deliver remarks doubling down on the big lie to counter-program the remembrance events. Yeah, you can't let remembrance events go on without counter-programming. Same reason at a funeral, you gotta bring out an insult comic for the people who are glad the guy's dead. John looks good. It's the first time I've seen him stiff in years. Oh! His wife knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's my time. His too. Tip your pallbearers. The former president announced the speech with a statement. Now, reading this statement straight would give it way more respect than it deserves. But I no longer do an impression of that crack wipe anymore. So instead, we're going to have his statement read by someone who has the same level of emotional maturity, a 7-year-old child.
Why isn't the Unselect Committee of highly partisan political hacks investigating the cause of the January 6th protest, which was the rigged presidential election of 2020? I will be having a news conference on January 6th at Mar-a-Lago to discuss all these points and more. Until then, remember, the insurrection took place on November 3rd. It was the completely unarmed protest of the rigged election that took place on January 6th.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to point out, that they were armed. And when did we start having to say unarmed protests? Protests are unarmed by default. That's like saying we had a lovely weekend. It was a totally bloodless cotillion. Well, good news, because yesterday, the former president canceled his January 6th event. I agree. I'll give it up. Yeah. I'm sure he's very disappointed. I mean, he'd already picked out the perfect outfit for the day. He explained his decision with this statement.
In light of the total bias and dishonesty of the January 6th Unselect Committee of Democrats, two failed Republicans in the fake news media, I am canceling the January 6th press conference at Mar-a-Lago on Thursday. And instead, we'll discuss many of those important topics at my rally on Saturday, January 15th in Arizona. It will be a big crowd.
It makes sense that he's moving it from Mar-a-Lago to Arizona, considering their state motto, Arizona, America's backup Florida. Apparently, they're gonna need one. We're gonna need one. Apparently, the real reason he canceled the event is because some advisors urged the former president to reschedule for a day that would draw less attention to a low point of his presidency. So, every day of his presidency? But I get their point. It would be like Judas giving a speech to commemorate Good Friday. Sure, it's a sad day, but without me, none of this would have happened. The real crucifixion was on November 3rd. Mary Magdalene knows what I'm talking about. Tip your Pharisees. Now, thank you. Thank you, Win. You like that, Win? But according to the New York Times' Maggie Haberman, the real reason is that it was becoming clear he wasn't likely to get the live TV coverage he was hoping for. Well, that makes sense. Upstaging solemn events rarely gets good ratings. That's why they canceled Dick Clark's Pearl Harbor's Rockin' Eve. Ryan Seacrest does it now, right? Seacrest does it now. There's an update from the world of COVID. Everyone in the world has COVID. Turns out over 3,000 schools were closed in the first week of January. And the quitting rate for the healthcare industry reached an all-time high. Okay, there's an easy solution here. Kids, this is the moment Doc McStuffins has been training you for. Grab your Fisher-Price stethoscope and ask Mommy and Daddy for the ride to the ER. You're scrubbing in. Damn it, Mackenzie, there are lives on the line. What do you mean I'm my own twin? So, the country's in chaos. What we need is clear guidance from the CDC, which is why they issued yesterday new guidance updating their recent 5-day isolation rule with this simple addendum. People who have recovered from the virus and have isolated for at least 5 days can take a rapid test if they want, but they don't have to. And those who test positive after 5 days from their initial test should isolate for another 5 days. Also, people who test negative or don't get tested can go back to work as long as they wear a mask. Oh, I know this one. The answer is the knife was an icicle. No, you take the chicken and the grain and you vaccinate the fox. Am I? No. All right. Even the news, even the news is struggling to understand those updated guidelines.
Confusing times when it comes to recommendations from the CDC. This latest change from them, how do you feel about it?
It is confusing. It does feel like a bit of a choose-your-own-adventure. If this, then this. If this, then this.
It does feel in many ways, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
Gail's right. In fact, that's an easy way to remember the new rules. John, you tested 5 days in, or maybe just go out. Hey, am I still sick? That's for you to figure out. You do the nosy pokey and you cry yourself to sleep. Time for my daily shout. Woo! We got a great show for you tonight. My guest is Senator Amy Klobuchar. But when we return, young people are getting scammed. Can we do anything to stop old people from laughing at them?
Put your left foot out, you put your right foot in.